What is going on, guys? We have the next episode. I know we left you with a cliffhanger on the last one. We just had to split these up. We've been a little bit long, so we wanted to make sure you're staying in tune. You had to catch the first part of this one, and then you're catching the second part. Don't worry, Brad will show up in this box very soon. It's not just me, but you are going to get my crazy theory here. Apparently, it's not just me. I thought maybe I had a stroke of genius, but no, not genius. Maybe I'll try again another day. Anyways, without further ado, got the theory coming up. Stay tuned, listen in, enjoy. Catch you later.
No. But
I'm just having some fun.
Let's spend a couple of minutes talking about your theory because
So this isn't
a new theory.
Apparently, it's not a new theory. Brad let me know, which is funny because I mow my lawn. I mow my own lawn. I'm sure there's many of you that you do. Brad wouldn't know because he's in Airbnbs all the time, or traveling the world. But
I mow a lawn, not personally, but I pay to have a lawn mowed at a house that I rent.
There you go. Must be nice. So I mow my own lawn, but I enjoy it in the sense that I get some time to, either I'm listening to a book that I've got on Audible, or I just put on some music. And sometimes I just put on my headphones and I'm not even listening to anything. It's just like earplugs for me, and I get some time to think and whatnot. And so I'm mowing my lawn this past weekend, and I get this crazy idea in my head that apparently I'm not the first one to think this. Now here I am, thinking I'm some genius, and Brad knocked me down a peg or two.
But you know what? This is what it's about. Like, before you even share it,
okay,
this is what it's about. And because I want to encourage you in this, and anyone else that's listening, when you start forming your own opinions and you're understanding what's going on in the marketplace and you're researching, you're going to start forming your own opinions. You're not going to know everything that's out there or every idea that's out there.
Right.
And so when you start forming your own opinions on what's happening, that means you're getting it.
Sure.
That means you're understanding what you're learning, and it's becoming something that you're processing, and you're coming up with your own theory and your own way to do it, which is what this is all about.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
and so like when you told me, I'm like, yes, but at the same time, like I was like, did you see that on some YouTube? Like, who did you hear talk about it?
He must have read this somewhere. Yeah, so you may hear this and you may be like, yeah, Mike, I've been thinking that for a long time. This isn't new.
Well, that theory's been out for years.
Yeah. But come along with me on this journey for a minute, and and let's think about this and have some fun with it. So
again, this is just fun.
Exactly. This is just fun. I'm going to put this out there. Apparently others have thought it too, because I went and was doing some research for the show today and found multiple articles on it. I'm actually going to share a few with us, as well. But so I'm mowing my lawn, going along here, and I have this stroke of genius, right? And I'm thinking, what if the government created Bitcoin? What if they even went as far to create Ethereum, right? I don't think that they've created all of crypto. That would be a little wild, because there's going to be other people come along with ideas and come up with their own, or, take this water bottle and copy it and sell it, on a different website. But what if the U.S. government, I'm going to say the U.S. government, created Bitcoin? Okay, that's the theory. There are many reasons why I came to this. I started thinking about when Bitcoin was created and put out there for the public. I'm even starting to believe that maybe it was created even before then, but was just publicly released, essentially. And this white paper came about in the 2007, 2008 era. What was happening? There was a big mortgage crisis happening in 2008. There was a big recession happening during that time. Okay. What better time to put something out there where money could go, or this new idea could come about for people to invest in, this new technology to happen, right? During this time. Okay, the US mortgage crisis that happened during that time was pretty bad. It took out a lot of people in the real estate world. I mean, there is huge investors out there that lost it all during that time period, right? So the timing of that to me is interesting with when Bitcoin was created and the white paper came out. What's happening to gold? Yes, it all comes out, but it's, maybe we need a new standard. What's happening to the dollar, over these past years? Yeah, you look at the dollar index and you see this index going up, but what's the general consensus on the dollar, over the past 10, 15 years, right?
Yeah.
People are starting to question it. We have other powers coming into play, even more so publicly now, across the world, China, and some other things happening, right? So, what if? Okay, the government moves slow, right? How long has this Ethereum merge taken? Forever. And the date just doesn't come out, and the date doesn't come out, and yeah, there's talks of it, and government moves slow. Government moves like this Ethereum merge has taken, right? And I'm just talking. I don't know. Maybe they just created Bitcoin and not Ethereum, and somebody else came along and they're like, oh, we could transact, and let's create Ethereum and create a way to transact. Bitcoin's awesome, but we need some type of faster transaction, way. So maybe somebody else created Ethereum. Maybe the government came up with both of them, right? And they're like, okay, let's create a new gold standard. Now we also need something that's similar to the dollar and we can transact. That can be Ethereum.
Yep.
Right. And what do we need that's going to take our things and put them in the digital space? We need NFTs, right? Let's create something of digital value that's connected to the real world. That's NFTs.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the population just runs rampant with it. Maybe it's gotten out of hand and the government doesn't know what to do now, or it's all falling into their diabolical plan. I don't know. I'm in the belief that the US is on their decline. I believe they are 70 to 80% through their world power parabola. What I'm looking for? Parabola. Okay. And I believe they're on this side on the decline. And I believe now they're trying to figure out what the heck to do. Maybe they created Bitcoin and Ethereum to try to get themselves out of this. And maybe China came along and they're like, that's a fantastic idea. Let's hijack that. And now they're taking it and running with it. Who knows?
Yeah.
So many things.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ideas, right? There's you can go watch there's documentaries about like how crypto was created. There was a group of people in the 90s that were working on different cryptocurrencies, and so you can go watch some of these documentaries. They're fabulous documentaries if you actually are wanting to get into the history of cryptocurrency. One of the things, sticking with your theory, I don't have a solid opinion on who created this, but going along with your theory, this would be my opinions on the potential idea of this being true.
Yeah.
So if we believe that the government created this, well, why did they do it? Well, there's multiple reasons why a government could want to do something like this. This stems back to being able to create a one world currency. This stems back to being able to track every dollar that people spend. I mean, you look at what China does. They have like the what are they called? Citizen scores and stuff like that, right? If the United States got to, I'm not going to go into this kind of stuff, but like these are ideas, right?
Sure. Yeah. This is
If the
all
United
just, yeah.
this is all just ideas that are out there.
Right.
And so this is just a fun conversation today, based on Mike's little lawn mowing experience. Uh, but like if a government decided to do
Thoughts
something
with
like
Mike
this,
on his mower.
yeah, we'll make that into a new segment. But if this was something that a government created, why would they want it? Well, they
Mhm.
would want it because they want to track your spending. They'd want something like this so they could control people more, so they could have a digital currency. And so my thought would be if they released Bitcoin, right? Then they kind of let it go out to the world. They let like these super techie guys start seeing this. They don't care if some people become
Not at
multimillionaires.
all.
Like the elite of the elite don't care if some people become rich because they'll never be like in control like them. So
Mhm.
they don't care about that. So they're like, okay, we'll let some people get really wealthy. We'll let some of these guys develop these softwares, develop blockchain, and make it more sustainable. So then when it's time, we can take the best of the best, we can merge it together and use it for how we want payment processing to work, how we want
XRPs.
it for our governmental currencies to work and things like that. And so like you can see that happening. I mean, there's plenty of documentation out there of uh, different countries that are coming up with digital dollars for their countries right now and things like that. I believe right now, is it the UK or is it the Euro? I saw this recently. I don't pay attention that much to some foreign currencies, but Euro um, is taking bills out of circulation.
Ooh.
Money out of circulation. Um, see if I can find an article really quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but they're removing. I want to say it's the euro. I'm pretty sure, not 100%, but I don't. But if this is true, right?
Yeah.
So if they're taking paper money out of circulation, it's because they're getting ready to release a digital currency. And so obviously, I don't spend any time in Europe, so I don't pay attention to their money that much, except for I pay attention to what the value of it is because every now and then I look at the forex market.
Right.
But anyway, so. If that's the case and they're taking some of these notes out of circulation, what are they using instead? You know,
Yeah.
and so obviously digital currency creates the need to not need any of that.
Yep.
You don't need like these fractional bills. You don't need fractional coins and stuff like that because it can all be done in a single transaction through a digital currency. So there's the value of that, right? And then so you've got a lot of stuff that you could go
So
to
many
on
things.
what this is. But think about it. Okay, who are some of the largest holders of cryptocurrency?
Mm-hmm.
There's some foreign governments in our government that are in the top holders of
Yep.
cryptocurrency. What would be good about that for them? In my personal opinion, like this is what I would do if I was in charge of, money
Mm-hmm.
for a government. I would buy a ton of it
Right.
and I would skyrocket the price of it. And then I would get rid of all of my country's debt.
Mm. Yep.
So, I mean, there's all kinds of ways that you can look at this stuff. So anyway, I think it's a really interesting theory.
Here's another reason for you. This one's more obscure to think about, but think about who the creator, right, of Satoshi Nakamoto, right? This name. It doesn't sound like a U.S. made name, but if I'm an intelligent, U.S. official government agency, whatever, I'm not going to make it sound like Tom George from Paris, Texas. I'm going to make it sound like it's something that's outside of the U.S. Okay. How long has the actual, like, we still don't know who this person is. Okay. That tells me more so that it seems like an agency or a government. Because if I'm a human, just some dude that created this, like that type of person, they want to be known.
Mhm.
We're human, flawed.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's guys
want
out there that say they are him, you
right,
know?
but it's still we still don't know, and those could be decoys for all we know.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So there's that. There's that leads me to believe it's some type of agency or government that has created this. You know, so I just got to thinking this. I wanted to put it out there. I've got a couple of articles we'll share, and then we'll wrap this up because we're going long here. But I thought this was a fun, discussion to have, with me on my mower. And so this, when I search this, you can search: did the U.S. government create Bitcoin? Did they create crypto? Whatever you want to phrase it. I found two articles that came up. This one is just from 8 months ago. Did the U.S. government create Bitcoin? Apparently, there are other people who think this. Light bulb, Mike. And so this, these theories gained some traction because of some comments by the CIA director William Burns, apparently. And so this theory of this article is that the NSA, CIA, FBI, or a combination of all three created Bitcoin as some kind of honeypot to draw in criminal masterminds, right? Which is interesting. The holes you poke in this is that, well, yeah, they've taken down some, but they haven't gone after others seemingly. And, the Tornado Cash, thing kind of maybe, all right, great, nice. You got them. But at the same time, I would find it hard to believe that that's why, this was created. And
No.
and the reason my MailChimp article plays into this is because, I'm to believe that the, media outlets, the main media outlets are run by the elite. And why not shut down these other ones who are trying to get out information that may not be run by them, may or may not, right? And so MailChimp shuts down, suspends these large accounts all of the sudden, which is interesting to me. So there's some evidence that they talk about here about this person who wrote a paper about a divisible electronic cash scheme in 1998 that made, these people think that this person was Satoshi Nakamoto himself. So you can search this. This is one article that I found that gives you some reasoning, but it's a very short article. You actually don't find a whole lot on the subject, just a couple of things, which is interesting. This next article, Bitcoin created as $2.0 by US government to fund secret CIA and M15 missions. Okay. This one, though, was written in 2018 at the beginning of the year. So this one actually is some time ago. But it was claiming from some cybersecurity expert that after some slides from this person's presentation in Russia were photographed and shared on social media. And so it said that on this slide, Bitcoin is a project of American intelligence agencies which was designed to provide quick funding for US, British, and Canadian intelligence activities in different countries. It goes on to talk about that it's controlled by owners of different exchanges, the rate is, and whatnot. I mean, what if the US created Coinbase? Right? The US or these elites, they can put people in places, they can act like they're this and they're not, and all of these things. They run the media, right? So let's keep crypto out of the media for a certain period of time. When would it be good to start talking about it? Let's talk about it here. Then it crashes, take all their money, buy it back. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of these theories that can play into this. I think it's fun to think about. And I think probably the more and more I think about it, maybe the more and more I might believe it, to be honest. Because, and honestly, the hinging factor for me is that we still don't know of the actual creator. I think that honestly is like the one little, if there was one piece of evidence that would get out that would kind of ruin the whole scheme for the US government, is this little piece of information that we actually don't know who is the owner.
Well,
Because
you think about it too, like, I mean, when did cryptocurrencies start being created?
mhm,
During the internet's
mhm,
early phases.
mhm,
I mean, you're talking about the 90s,
mhm,
was
yeah,
when crypto was first getting started. What if you've never watched it, watch the documentary Banking on Bitcoin. And it really goes through the early days of Bitcoin really, really well. And I would encourage people to watch that just to get a little bit of a historical reference to how this all kind of came to be. Um, but I mean, it's right at the same time. So it's like they see this internet thing really blowing up and exploding and how it's changing things. Well, let's use it to make money
yeah,
work too.
yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of theories. And I'm kind of with Mike. I feel like we live in a big movie. Me and my wife jokingly talk about that all the time. That everything we see is an act, and it's just like whatever.
We're
Let's
just
just go live our
extras
life.
in some
Yeah,
big
that,
film.
that is honestly one of the reasons why we just live our life the way we want to live it with what makes us happy.
Yep.
And so it's like, you know, I don't know what to believe. I don't know how to believe it, but what I do know is I'm in control of what I'm personally doing, so I'm
That's
going to go have fun.
right. Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
And so,
And
uh,
that's what this podcast
yeah,
is about, is taking control, of your financial future, regardless of these big schemes or thoughts, that we
right,
have. This is
right,
just a fun conversation in the end of
yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's not like I can really do anything about it.
no,
But I think it's an interesting thought, because DeFi and the term decentralized finance thinks that, you're taking back over this control, but then what if the government created it and you're really back under their thumb anyways? And it's like, well, frick. Here I was thinking I'm doing this and whatnot, but even if it is true or isn't true, we get back to our baseline thinking of, let's just throw that out the window, and crypto does allow you to take back control of some things, in your life, and give you some other freedoms that you may not get otherwise, right? If you start really taking advantage of what it has to offer, regardless of what bigger plays are going on. It's grown my financial mind eons and eons, over this short period of time, that I've been learning about crypto, and then learning about finances, and learning more about the financial markets, and then the world beyond that. I didn't care
yeah,
about this stuff years ago,
right, right,
right? And now all of a
right.
sudden I do, and I'm more aware. So,
Yeah,
you
100%. I remember when me and you first started talking, you like had no idea some of the things I was talking about,
right.
and it's like you're like, whoa, like I never even thought about that before.
What?
And like that's the way most people are. And so it's like when we start to create our own opinions and really start to be aware of like what's going on around us, we really can live a more fulfilling life.
Yep. Yep, 100%. And that's what this is about, really, when it boils down to it. So, just wanted to put that thought out there into your little heads, and
Yeah,
you guys can think about this week. Man, I'd
yeah,
love, love, love to hear your input or thoughts on it
yeah.
in our Telegram. Jump in there. Let's have some conversation. That's fun. Let's lighten up the week, and just enjoy it. But Brad, you got anything else to add for us this week?
Man, that's it. I know we've gone kind of long today.
Yeah,
Whether we make this one long one or even we could honestly cut this into two if we wanted to,
gonna leave a
but
cliffhanger.
and post them both tomorrow. No, we could just post them both. We could post them both at the same time. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's great info. It's a great and it's fun and like I think this is part of the reason I enjoy this stuff so much is because you just to me like when you can have fun and you can make money and you can live your life the way you want to,
Yep.
I mean, everything is just different. I
Yep.
mean, there's a reason why Mike dresses in a tank top every day, because
Or
he's in
beach shirt.
control. He's in control of his business. He's, whether it's his real estate and now he's getting invested in crypto. It's like he's in control of his future. Like there's a reason why I'm living in Airbnbs like for basically this entire year.
Yeah.
Because like I'm in control. Like I'm not banking on a paycheck. I'm not banking on like other things. Like I've chosen to live a different life.
Right.
Now that also means like I live totally different than the way most people do, and I'm okay with that. I live a very simplistic lifestyle.
Yeah.
But it's like do whatever it is that makes you happy, and when you're in control you can do that. When you're not in control you can't do that. And so that's why I love this so much. It's so fun, and it's just great to have conversations like this because it's just enjoyable to see
Yep.
like what we can come up with, and just to speculate on stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we'll drop all the stuff we talked about, all the links. I'll even get that, make sure we got that title for the documentary. We'll pop that in there so you at least have the title of that.
Yeah, making on Bitcoin.
And we'll have that all in the show notes. And guys, if you have any questions or want to reach out, definitely please join the Telegram. And we'd love to have you in there. If you got some value or just enjoyed this conversation today, hit that like button, subscribe, maybe share it with somebody, pick one person, send it to them.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, that's a wrap for today, Brad. I guess we will catch you guys on the next episode. Everybody have an awesome, awesome week.
All right, make it a good one. We'll see you next time.